Hello and welcome to today's lesson. I have a good one for you today. And I think it'll really help you not only in your personal life, but also your professional life. So, in today's video, I'm going to be giving you my top tips on ways that you can get back on track when you feel lost in your professional life. Um, so think about this. Have you ever found yourself like frustrated or maybe just feeling a little bit low because you look around and the life and the career that you've envisioned for yourself is not quite the way that you wanted it to be, and things just aren't playing out the way that you wanted them to? Or think about it like this. Maybe you just kind of are trying to find balance in the day to day, but you feel like you're just running on this hamster wheel. And plus, dealing with the stress of it all just kind of has you on the brink of either like giving up, just, I don't know, shutting down, something like that. Or maybe you just feel trapped and you feel like you've lost yourself in all of it and you just don't know how to climb back out and reconnect to yourself. I have helped a lot of leaders in my professional practice deal with this. And so I wanted to share some tips with you. These are the top tips that I share with my private clients. These are top tips that I've used in my own practice with success, and they've been proven. So I want to share them with you. And I want to split them up because I know that you don't live your life in a silo. There are times where you feel lost professionally as well as time that you feel lost personally. So I'm going to address both of them, but I'm going to do it in separate videos. Today we're going to break down the professional the when you're feeling lost in your professional life, what you can do. Tomorrow we're going to talk about personal. It's very important though that you don't discount how heavy personal problems can bleed into your professional life. And if you don't think it does, we did a whole article on, not an article, we did a whole discussion on this when we first started these live streams around how your personal life does impact your professional life. So if you are new joining us, if you missed that episode, if you want to catch up, the best way to see all of the replays of these live streams are to go to our YouTube channel. You can search Yashica Lind on YouTube. I put them all in a playlist for top tips for leaders. And from there, you should be able to find all of the videos, the discussions that we've done thus far. So let's get into it. Today, professional tips, tomorrow, personal tips. Before we get started, got to introduce myself. We're gaining momentum. I'm really happy about all of you that are watching the replays, that are sharing this information with other leaders. My name is Yashica Lind, and my mission is to help you lead with impact, not only in your personal life, but also your professional life. I think they go hand in hand, right? I work with people to help them be just powerful individuals in general. And you can do this, you can lead in a way to where you don't feel burned out, you don't feel stressed out, you don't feel overwhelmed. There is a way to do it. 45% of leaders are doing it probably better than you if you feel this way, but you probably just haven't been taught the tools or had somebody coach you on how to be a better leader. So that is my mission. That's what I do with my company, the Land Group. That's what we do as a company. And also because we have experts on our in our company, we also go into organizations across the world and help them with leadership development. We facilitate leadership development classes, and then we also help them with their operations, helping them improve those dramatically as well. So just in case you wanted to know a little bit about me, about my company, now let's get into the top tips that I have for you today to help you start to feel better when you feel lost professionally. So first thing you need to do is you need to face reality. So many of us, when we're going through troubling times and difficulties, sometimes it feels better to ignore it, to bury our head in the sand, to bury our head in some food, in a book, in TV, in everything except for facing the reality that something in our professional life is not going the way that we would like it to. And if you have been around for a while, that I always say that you should start with examining yourself, doing some self-reflection, and acknowledging we all know our strengths, but where are you not showing up in your power? And how could that be impacting the way that you lead, the people that you lead, the value that you bring to your company or your organization. And you have to really look at that and get clear on what that is. If you really want things to get better and you want to see changes occur in your professional life. And a lot of that will also have to do with not only getting real with yourself, but also facing reality and having some difficult conversations or apologizing for some of the things that maybe you have been responsible for, or at least partly responsible for, so that you can start to reconcile some of the issues that you may be experiencing, if you are, when it comes to your professional life. So that's number one. Number two is you need to humble yourself and you need to be teachable. All throughout these conversations that we've been having, I have reflected on or not reflected, I have taught you that you need to be able to understand that a lot of the mistakes that happen, particularly with people that have specialties such as us in healthcare, leaders in healthcare, we have been taught to be very good at our specialty or at our whatever our license role is, etc. What we haven't been taught, though, is how to be good leaders. And we mistakenly think that because we are good at our role, our task, our specialty, that we are automatically good leaders. While we may be knowledgeable in what it is that we went to school for, it doesn't mean that you're knowledgeable or that translates into getting people to work together toward a common goal, motivating them to do so, etc. So you need to humble yourself and then you need to be teachable. What is it that you need to learn in order to be a good leader? Again, nobody's saying that you're not an expert in what it is that you know clinically, but how can you learn? Who do you need to tap into in order to be a better leader? Because that is one of your primary roles when you are put in a leadership position, which changes, right, from you being a leader versus being a follower. We talked about that as well. For those of you that are feeling lost, I want you to know that don't be so hard on yourself. Nobody is just like perfect. There are, I like to pull statistics out of my head, but I don't remember where I got them from. And I just like kind of quote them very loosely. But really great leaders make just as many bad decisions as they make good decisions. Or that's not right. They don't make just as many bad decisions, but they make bad decisions as well as good decisions. So they're not in it to be perfect, and you shouldn't be in it either to be perfect. And I think that sometimes we forget that and we start to believe that other people have it all together. And when we do that comparison-itis, especially if we are in jeopardy of facing a challenge that is impacting our role, or if you have issues with your team, or if you find yourself on the brink of about to lose your job, you need to know that you aren't the only one that has experienced this, and all hope is not lost. There is still room for you to grow. There is still room for you to improve. And a lot of the leaders that you're looking at that are killing it because they've made mistakes in the past and have learned from those mistakes to be better, to tweak their leadership. So if you want to, they may not tell you that, but I'm just telling you, any honest and self-aware leader is going to let you know that they have had issues. They may have been a little bit broken in the way that they did things, and they just got back up. They dug deep inside and mustered up some resilience to keep going forward. And knowing that while things may feel or seem like they're not going to get better, they absolutely can and will. What I find primarily when I'm working with my private clients are that the difference between my clients that are successful or that achieve success in their leadership, in their personal development very quickly versus those that have issues. Number one, they're not open-minded, humble, and teachable. But number two, it's all in the way that we think. How you think about your life and how you think about the things that are happening to you in not only your professional life, but your personal life, how you think about those makes a big difference in how you experience your career. If you are anxious, if you are someone that tends to be stressed out, if you are dealing with depression, then you tend to inject that energy into your organization, into your company, into the people that you lead, into the people that you interact with. And it's not to say that the things that you are experiencing should be minimized or ignored, but you should understand that if you have a leader of high influence or a high performing person that is able to get stuff done and not feel lost and not feel all the things that you feel, usually one of the number one things that sets them apart from you is that even though they have pains and even though they have disappointments, they don't think about their problems or their issues or their challenges in an unhealthy way like you may be doing. So that plays, I would say that's probably the number one thing. If you don't pay attention to anything else I say today, that's the number one thing that you should be paying attention to. They don't think about their problems in unhealthy ways. What they try to think about, if they do start to like spiral into that unhealthy pattern, is they're able to catch themselves quickly. And that comes from a multitude of different things, but that is a skill that you can learn. You can always, you're not in a fixed mindset. You may think that you are, but you always have the power to learn how to catch those thoughts before they help you to spiral out of control. And so leaders that don't think unhealthy about challenges and things that they face, they also put off old and healthy thoughts and replace them with new thoughts. The quickest way to get rid of your old thoughts is to replace them with new thoughts, not to try to just get rid of old thoughts. That's a whole nother thing. But that's, if you are big into personal development or ever work with a coach, and some of you have worked with me as your coach, you know, it's not about just getting rid of old bad habits and thoughts. It's about how can you replace them with new habits and thoughts. Let's see, what else could you do? Particularly when you are first confronted with the issue of feeling lost, what you may do is get defensive. You may get defensive, particularly if you are starting to get confronted by other people, asking you if there's a problem, asking you if you have issues, your team acting out. And like I said, even to the point where you might be in jeopardy of losing your job. If you are dealing with any of those things, you, or even like in your personal life, dealing with any of these things, people that are feeling lost and not where they want to be, and they know that deep inside, when confronted with that, have this tendency to be defensive. And so they're not open to the feedback, the suggestions, the questions, even though those things could be a blessing in disguise for you if you are feeling lost in your professional career. And what they do is block you off from learning things that may influence you in a positive way. And it also blocks your ability to have a connection to something or someone that could be helping you, because you tend to lean toward defensive. Defensiveness can look like blaming. It can look like attacking. And blaming doesn't mean, nope, she did it. Blaming means that instead of you looking internally and taking responsibility as a leader, you try to find an answer outside of yourself, a cause outside of yourself. You tend to say, well, if it wasn't like this, then this wouldn't have happened. And if she didn't do this, then I wouldn't do this. And I'm only doing this because you're doing that. Like you're finding causes outside of yourself. You're attacking. Maybe you deny, maybe you withdraw. I know a leader that just would come to work, close the door, stay in her office for 8 hours, leave at the end of the day. Nothing was getting done. What was she doing for 8 hours with the door closed? If that's you, that is a form of defensiveness. And also, again, just Pollyanna, acting like things are okay when they're not. So make sure you manage those unhealthy defense mechanisms when it comes to you being confronted with issues in your professional career, and how you can pull yourself up out of them if you're feeling lost. And the number one thing that you can do, and I think that we hear about investing in yourself, especially more and more in our personal lives when it comes to therapy and stuff, but you don't have to flounder in your professional career. You can hire a coach, you can invest in a mentor. That's what we do here at the Lind Group. We help people become better leaders, become high performers. And it bleeds not only into their personal life, but of course, we help you with professional tools that you need. And that can sound scary, or it can sound threatening, or you may think that you aren't up for the investment. But when you start to think about how a coach or a mentor can help you make sense of what you are experiencing because they've helped other people, or when you think about how you can be guided through changes and challenges that you might be going through, and get accountability, encouragement, and learn tools that are proven to help you be a better person, a more valuable person, a more balanced person, then you can't discount the fact that you may need to invest or get help from someone like me, a coach or a mentor. All right. So those are some of my top tips for you to start to move away from feeling lost in your your professional life. I would like to hear your thoughts or comments on this subject. And so make sure you leave those in the comment box, or you can DM me if you want to do that more privately. If you have questions, we need to stick together as leaders in healthcare. We don't get the information like this that we often need to be successful. We have a couple days left in our 21-day live streams. What are we on right now? I think we're on day 19 right now. So a couple more days left. So make sure you join us 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you want even more tips and tricks on how to be a better leader, and you also want reminders on when the live streams go, just in case you get busy and you want to know when to catch me live, then you can get a free copy of our ebook called The Top 5 Mistakes Leaders in Healthcare Make and What to Do About It. The ebook is absolutely free. All you have to do is text the word leadership to the phone number 833-231-4407. Again, all you have to do, text the word leadership to the phone number 833-231-4407 to get your free copy of the ebook. And make sure you come back tomorrow at the same time, because we're going to be talking about how you can get back on track when you feel lost personally. I'm going to give you some top tips again that I use with myself, with my clients, when maybe you're okay professionally and you just really feel like the thing that's bringing you down is your personal life. Even though they go together, I'm going to give you some tips that will only, apply more to your personal life to help you out in that area. All right. So I will talk to you in the next